Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Watercooler Edit with mybayut, hosted by myself Eman and Richard. And today we're actually going to be talking about the upcoming things that are going to be coming to the UAE in 2024. And both Richard and I are going to have maybe 3, maybe 4 picks of what we are most highly anticipating. So how's it going, Richard?
Things are good. Things are good. We're heading into summer, right?
Yes.
So the temperatures are getting more nuclear by the day. But it's I actually quite kind of like summer, to be honest. Here, I'm one of the few people who does. Less traffic, I suppose. That's one bonus, right? But no, I'm good. Things could be a lot worse. How about you?
I'm all right too. It's good. It's weird that you like summer.
I know I'm a weirdo. So yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like you said, it's a good time to kind of look forward to things that are coming up, to make plans, less traffic on the road, hopefully because the schools will be off.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's a good time. I'm always excited to spend time at home in summer because I get to do a lot of things indoors.
Yes.
So I make the most of spending as much time as I can outdoors and then as much time as I can indoors during the summer.
See, the split, the seasonal split.
The seasonal split. Sadly, it's not even. It should be.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, it's not quite an even balance there, is it? Though, yeah. But look, inside time can be quality time.
Yes, it can be. But speaking about what we're going to be talking about today, what are you looking forward to the most, Richard?
Okay, so I thought long and hard about these picks, right? So this isn't 2024, by the way. This is 2025. But my first pick is the Guggenheim Museum. Coming to Abu Dhabi in 2025. It's going to be part of the Saadiyat Cultural District, which is now 76% complete. And obviously that remaining 24% will be completing next year, between now and next year. So that's, obviously we know there's already the Louvre, there's going to be the Zayed National Museum, which that building is absolutely stunning. And you've got various other things, did I say the Natural History Museum?
No,
and look, here's an idea, really, people can read the article on Bayut about the Saadiyat Cultural District, which lists all the places that are going to be there. But the Guggenheim is, something pretty special. It will be the 5th.
Worldwide.
Yeah, so we've got, do you know where the other ones are?
Quizzing.
So I do, but only because I researched.
I believe
If someone had asked me that before I've researched, the answer would be I only really knew the Bilbao one. But there is more.
there are more. Is there one in Germany?
There is.
There's one in Berlin, right?
Yes, woohoo!
Okay,
Yeah, nice.
okay.
Yeah, so there's one in Bilbao.
Japan?
No, not in Japan. No.
Okay.
So you've got Berlin. You've got Bilbao.
Yeah.
You've got Venice.
Oh, I did not know that they had one there. Okay.
No, me neither.
Okay.
And NYC, the Big Apple,
yeah.
right? So they're the 4 at the moment. I suppose they all look very, very famous, but the one in Bilbao, which opened in 1997, is, I've always wanted to go. I haven't been yet, but Bilbao is supposed to be a beautiful city. And have you seen that building?
Yeah. It's an architectural marvel. Right?
It really, really is. And I have to say, the Abu Dhabi one looks...
Yeah, the vectors for that look
Yes.
really interesting.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What a magnificently strange looking building, but in an impressive way, right? In a really impressive way. So maybe we can insert some images of
the renders.
For the watchers, for the listeners. So yeah, I'm really, really excited by that. And it's basically the arts from like the night that will be there will be from the 1960s onwards, right? So it's modern art. So yeah, look, Saadiyat is going to become quite the place with like we said, with the Louvre already there and the various other components of the cultural district. I'm hugely fond of Saadiyat Island in general, and the Guggenheim is going to be a impressive addition.
Yeah, even Zayed National Museum is going to open there, and I just wanted to jump in
Yeah, sure.
with the fact that they actually have the first sort of introductory glance into the museum already. So it is going to open, I believe, either end of 2024 or beginning of 2025.
Yeah.
But they have the first exhibition part of Etihad Museum in Dubai that actually introduced Sheikh Zayed's journey, and it talks about the unity between the Emirates. So it was really interesting to actually take a look at that, and they've designed it really beautifully. So if you are still waiting for the museum to open, you can check it out at Etihad Museum.
Oh, so this is actually going to be an exhibition that they will move and will be housed
Yes.
at the Zayed Museum when it opens.
So
That's
you
really
can,
cool.
yeah, you can visit the exhibition at Etihad Museum until the 5th of December of this year. And then I
Nice.
presume then they'll move it across to the Zayed National Museum when it's open.
That's brilliant. You brought more to my pick than I did. Thank you very
Not
much.
at all. I didn't know that
No,
they
I'm
were-
joking. No, that's great stuff actually, because it's really cool because it gives you a snippet into
Yeah, like a little inside look.
into what's to come.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
So you're
yes,
you
my
hit
first
me
pick.
hit me with your first pick.
So my first pick is the fact that Dubai is getting another of its world's firsts. So another record is going to be broken. And then there's actually going to be the world's first floating mosque, which is going to be on the Dubai Canal.
Wow.
Okay, so we had the
Yikes.
floating villas. This is kind of a similar concept, but it's a place of worship, right? So it's actually going to be spread over 3 levels, wherein the bottom level is going to be fully underwater. Okay.
That's quite something.
Yeah, that's quite something. And there will be the ability to accommodate 50 to 75 worshippers. So the reported cost for this is about 55 million. It is expected to open either end of this year, if not, then next year. I don't think they've actually stated a specific date. It was just set for 2024, but I think this is what people are
Yeah, they
kind
kind
of
of usually
reporting.
with these things they kind of say like quarter 4, 2024.
Or something like
yeah.
that. So for me, it's really interesting because they have places for Islamic lectures, they have places for workshops. In addition to the prayer areas, they have separate indoor and outdoor seating areas for men and women.
Right.
So if you actually want to, kind of sit inside or outside the canal.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting. And on top of all of this, there's also going to be a coffee shop.
There always has to be a coffee shop. Let's be honest. No matter what the
I've never
exhibit,
heard-
attraction,
but I've
place
never-
of worship is, a coffee shop is not is usually around as well. Yeah, let's be honest.
But I've never heard of a mosque having a coffee shop.
No, there's usually sometimes there's like restaurants or something
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
but neither have I actually. That's a fair point. So,
It'll be really interesting, and this was basically conceptualized by Dubai's Islamic Affairs and Charity Association Department, right? So they've actually campaigned for this, and it's such a unique and innovative concept because it's kind of like a blend of community, of spirituality, of unity, and at the same time, this mosque is also open to people of other faiths, right, to come in to visit. So I think it's
kind of like like I know a number of mosques are, but I personally have been to the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi.
In Abu
right?
Dhabi,
Yeah, so people of other faiths are welcome.
Yes.
It sounds like it's going to be something to behold as
Yeah.
well.
So I'm really excited to see what that is. And again,
Get a boat,
it's
you have to get a boat there.
I would assume if it's on the canal, they must have, I don't know, maybe they'll come up
Or
with a walkway
maybe build a walkway
or
too.
something like that, or a boat. So they'll release more designs soon, but it looks
Or maybe you have to get in
interesting.
a submarine and it's got.
No, I think at the max there would be like a water taxi or
Yes,
something like
this
that.
is
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Submarine.
No, look, I think that's great. I think, and it's one of a number of world firsts
For
coming.
the city.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be well. Look, you get those lists of things to see in
Yes.
Dubai and all that. I think it's going to be pretty high up on that
On that
list
list,
pretty
yeah,
soon.
exactly.
So I think that's a great pick. Nice.
What's your second pick, Richard?
My second pick, okay, so a place called Swingers.
Okay.
And why is it called Swingers? Right? Obviously, it's called Swingers because you swing a golf club, right?
Okay.
I mean, what else could it be? It's because you swing a golf club, right? So this place it started off in London, right?
Oh.
As a pop-up in London, right? It was only open for a couple of months in a place towards the east of London called Shoreditch, where a lot of creative companies are, a lot of kind of digital marketing companies and all that. And it comprised, and I love this, crazy golf, right?
Okay.
Crazy golf is like mini golf, right?
Yeah.
With all the obstacles and the windmills and
lights and all of that,
yeah,
yeah.
right. So crazy golf, cocktails, and street food. It's quite an odd concept, right? It was so successful that they subsequently, this was in 2014,
Okay.
the pop-up was so successful, they subsequently opened 2 venues in London. One in the city, what we call the city, the Square Mile, the financial hub of London, and another one in the West End, which is the theatre district. And then they have been so successful that it went to the States. There's one in New York, one in Washington, one about to open in Vegas. And now it's coming to Dubai, right? So it's coming to Blue Water Island, or Blue Waters.
Yeah, Blue Waters.
This place I've been actually because I love crazy golf, right?
Okay.
I've always been a crazy golf fan, and obviously, like if you like to partake in alcoholic beverages, it's quite unusual to be able to partake in alcoholic beverages whilst you're playing crazy golf, right? So you can walk around and you can have your cocktail, and there's drinks holders at each hole and stuff. So other beverages are available. You don't have to there's mocktails, whatever, you know. But the actual, the London venues have a number of different courses. It's not just one crazy golf course. There's like 3 or 4, right? One, the windmill course, the loop course, whatever. So I'd imagine that will be very similar when it opens here. So it can be like a family type venue as well as.
It would probably be great for birthday parties and things like that.
Yeah, totally. And the street food aspect is, the one in London has like street food. They're actual like little food truck things within the venue. So it had like
kind of like how Time Out Market is here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like a burger place, a burrito place, a pizza place, all this kind of stuff, right? So you can eat, drink, and be merry and play crazy golf. So I'm really looking forward to that place opening. I'm
excited.
I'm gonna be all over it.
Okay, perfect. That's interesting. Even my next one is actually a fun one.
Cool.
So I was a big Taco Bell fan, and then it closed here, and I was very sad. So I quite like having good Mexican food options here.
Nice.
And one major chain, which is called Chipotle, is actually going to be opening in Dubai.
Huge, very famous chain.
They're finally going to be opening in Dubai in October. The first branch is at the beach at JBR.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be having 4 other branches that are going to open within 2024 across the UAE. They've just started their GCC expansion. So their first branch in the Middle East was in Kuwait in May 2024. So then Dubai is the next one. And then obviously they scale across the UAE. And then I guess they would go to some other Middle Eastern regions. But we'll actually get a Chipotle here in Dubai.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Not just one as well. You potentially,
Yeah.
So, and that's just the start.
Yeah, that's just the start. So that's something that I'm like super excited.
You like your Mexican food, huh?
Yes.
Nice. You must have been, so when Taco Bell...
I was very sad.
Yeah.
I was very sad.
Yeah.
I know Taco Bell is not like amazing Mexican food, but it was quick, it was easy, it was in the food court, and I don't know. I think also because it's closed, I feel extra like sentimental about it.
Yeah,
but it's not an option, right?
Yeah, look, it doesn't have to be, to enjoy it, like, it doesn't have to be everywhere, it doesn't have to be a fine dining restaurant, does it? There's always room for like a Nando. It's kind of like the Nando's equivalent of Mexican food, right? Yeah. So also Chipotle, and you even know, October.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, fairly imminent, right? So... Woohoo.
And then I'll actually have to go to JBR. I generally do not go there because of the whole parking situation and everything. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare down there. It has to be said with regard to the...
Now I'll actually go for that. And maybe then, by then, Swingers will be open and I can try to check them out.
Yeah. I'll be in there. Every night.
Oh, that's interesting. So for the last option, Richard, do you want to go first or should I?
So I'm going to go with the Dubai Opera Film Week 2025 again, sorry. So basically, this has just happened in 2024 at the time of recording. I went a couple of weeks back, and it ran from the 9th to the 13th of May, okay? And the first 5 consecutive nights, first 2 nights were a very famous film composer called Ennio Morricone, and it was the Armenian State Orchestra, Philharmonic, easy for me to say, orchestra, and they were conducted by his son. He did, so many films, but like he's very famous for his Western scores. He did The Mission, he did The Hateful Eight, a Quentin Tarantino movie. The man was a genius. He passed away in 2020, aged 90, but so that was the first 2 nights. I went to the second of those. And then you had, on the third night, they played Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, with the Armenian State Orchestra like live. So they showed a movie on a big screen
with
and
the orchestra.
yeah, and so they did that. Oh no, before that was actually Star Wars, A New Hope, which is just I'm obsessed with Star Wars, so I didn't go to that, which I kind of regret. But anyway, hopefully they'll do it again next year. And then Pirates of the Caribbean, and then on the last night was a really famous Charlie Chaplin movie, one of the first ones he directed himself, called The Kid.
All right, yes.
And they did that again on the big screen with the. So it's the first time I've been to Dubai Opera. First time I've seen a live orchestra. I'm showing how massively unsophisticated
Not
I
at
am.
all.
I've seen AC/DC live 5 times, but I've never seen a state orchestra.
Wow, that's
Never
impressive
seen-
though.
I know, yeah, and geeky, but yeah. And the way they showed scenes from the movies that the scores were from and stuff, it was fantastic, right? I loved it so much. And what I regretted, because they did a season pass for the week.
Yes.
So
I think that gives you a 20% discount, right?
yeah, completely right. So which is really, really good. And first time been going to Dubai Opera. The venue is just stunning. I kind of should have expected that. The parking was easy, and getting there was no worries from the parking. I would say the downtown traffic was.
Downtown.
None of you will be surprised to hear that the downtown traffic was horrific, because that is downtown traffic, right? But taking that out of the experience, I loved it. I thought the Dubai Opera, the acoustics in there was stunning. What a beautiful venue. Loved it, and wish I'd gone to some of the other nights, especially the Star Wars one now. But so I think it was really successful from what I'm hearing, because it was the inaugural Dubai
edition.
Film Week, Dubai Opera Film Week. So I think it was successful enough that we should see another iteration in 2025, and I'm going to be all over that like a rash.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds very interesting as well, because I think that's a different sort of experience, right? Wherein you're actually watching the movie and then you have the orchestra live right there in front of you, that's actually having all of the...
It blows you. Honestly, it blew me away. Like how composers
visualize all of that, right? Yeah.
And how did because you've got all the different sections of the orchestra,
orchestra,
and they had interviews with Ennio Morricone actually on the screen, right? Because there was a documentary a few years back. And he was talking about he'll sit down with a blank piece of paper and and then come up with these ideas, and it evolves and all the rest of it. I'm thinking, like, where do you even start? And it's not just I'll have the brass section come in there. It's I'll have that part of the brass section, that one come in there. That way, it's like, oh my, wow. I mean, these people, they say you're born to do something. I genuinely believe it when you get someone that can
of that status.
Yeah,
of course, because it's artistry, right? It's craft.
Yeah, completely. I mean, just mind-blowing stuff. It was a great night. Loved it. And yeah, hopefully next year they'll do another Dubai Opera Film Week, and I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And the best thing about Dubai Opera is that honestly, it doesn't matter where you sit within the venue. The acoustics, the way they've thought out that whole area, it's just so beautifully designed that you get the best experience regardless of where you are.
Completely agree. Also, it slightly reminded me of, this is one for Star Wars fans out there, in the Star Wars prequels, there's like a parliament called the Senate, and all the different...
I like how you've made a reference that I actually understand. Because when you said Star Wars, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be lost.
So you know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
Excellent. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, I just know you're not as big a Star Wars fan. You're just not a big Star Wars fan. But yeah, so the boxes round the side of Dubai Opera reminded me a little bit of those. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because it just looked really, really cool. It's a beautiful venue.
Yep.
Really is. So check it out, guys. Dubai Film Week, Dubai Opera.
Yeah, any information you want to know about that, we have posts on that on mybayut.
100%.
So you can easily just learn more and get all of the details, the ticket pricing.
As soon as the
bundles,
2025, sorry to interrupt you, as soon as the 2025 iteration is announced, we'll update that post, so all the details will be on there. So check it out, guys.
And speaking of beautiful venues, so my third pick is basically the redevelopment of La Mer. So La Mer South Beach is obviously no more. It's going to be redeveloped as J1 Beach. And we've actually gotten an opening date for that. So that's actually going to come through in September of this year. It's going to be a fantastic venue. There are going to be 3 beach clubs and at least 9 restaurants.
Yikes.
And the beach clubs are actually super interesting as well. So the first one is called Serene Beach by Gaia, and Gaia is a local UAE homegrown Greek dining restaurant here, right? So that's going to be some nice Greek Mediterranean.
Serene Beach, did you
Yes.
say? That's a nice name.
Yeah, it's a nice name. The second one is going to be Bauli, which is basically a concept that they've taken from Cannes in France. So they're actually going to be bringing it here.
Yikes.
So it's going to be, I think, a mix of like French-Japanese cuisine. And then the third beach club, which is, I would say, the most ever-compassing, is basically going to be, actually, it's taken from Saint-Tropez.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You're not messing around with the places. We got Saint-Tropez, we got Cannes.
And we got the UAE as well.
Yeah. So we're all represented. But I mean, Saint-Tropez beach clubs. I mean, it's not. Let's be honest. It's not going to be shoddy, is it?
No. So it's called DG Regolato, and it's a massive space. It's over 5,000 square meters. It
Yeah, also.
has a private pool. It has a private beach. It also has a Mediterranean garden, a Bellini bar, and there's going to be a pentac court.
What is that?
So basically, it's a French sport wherein there are 3 balls and there's a jack, and you toss the jack, and you're supposed to make sure that the balls reach as close to the jack as possible, and that's how you win. So it's kind of like crochet but bowling, but yeah.
Yeah, so kind of.
Like
I can
marbles?
see. Yeah,
Like
marbles, like lawn bowls, kind of
Yes,
similar. Has
yes,
a
yeah,
jack and stuff.
Yeah, it's very similar. I think
And
it's
croquet,
almost the
croquet is
same.
quite similar, but it has the little stick things
Yes.
you have to get the thing
Yeah.
to. Yeah, that's what they're called, the little stick things. Yeah, that's the official name. So it's got one of them. Whoa!
Yeah.
So they really are going
Yeah, they're
French.
going all out with this. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, so it was September, you said, right?
September, yeah.
I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see because obviously Le Maire.
La Mer is an up-and-coming area, right?
Yeah.
So they just delivered some apartment buildings, so residents are moving in there. Some of the villas have actually been delivered as well. I was driving by the area myself, and it looks very nice, very serene. The villas have a bit of an odd color to them, I feel, because that's like peach, purple, white, orange. Those are the kind of colors. There was a pink villa. There were a few pink villas as well. I was like, okay.
Quite an eclectic range of colours.
Yeah. But it looks quite nice. And then obviously they're going to be redeveloping this whole
I was going to say, so
beachfront area.
for people who will have been know Le Maire for what it was, is any of that still around? Like, because there was a water park down there,
Yeah,
wasn't
Laguna,
there?
right?
Yeah, is that still there? Is that gone?
Not too sure. From what I know, it was mainly South Beach that's going to be redeveloped. I think North Beach was still fine. But I've actually, when I went last time, Laguna wasn't open.
Really?
So I'm wondering if they're going to redevelop the North area as well.
Okay, well, look, we'll include all this in our article anyway.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see whether Laguna is open or not. But I'm kind of excited to see what they do because this is Miras, right?
Yeah.
So, and it really does seem like quite an ambitious project. It's going to be interesting to see it come to fruition. From the artist's impressions that I've seen,
It looks stunning.
Yeah,
as well.
it really does look stunning, you know. And it's kind of cool that it's imminent. I mean, I would say the other side of summer, but September is summer.
Yeah, exactly. Very close.
And we'll be heading to Saint-Tropez in Dubai.
Yeah, Saint-Tropez in Dubai, Cannes in Dubai.
Yeah. They'll have a film festival down there before long.
Maybe they will.
That's it. You
Yeah,
could.
exactly.
You
It could be. It
that's
could be
it.
on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film festival on the beach. That's
Exactly.
it. Nice.
And I think that's a good way to wrap up our episode for today. So if you want any more information about anything that we've discussed, there are actually a few other things that are actually going to be coming to the UAE in 2024. We have all of that information up on mybayut, and the URL is bayut.com/mybayut. And we actually do have a bunch of articles on all of the other things that are coming up to the UAE, because there are quite a few things that we didn't mention here today. So do take a look and check that out, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.